When I started making glass, you have to learn how to work with the materials. So initially I was making tableware, so bowls and vases and wine glasses and things, but I always had in mind that I wanted to make sculpture. My name is Elliot Walker and I am a glass sculptor. So before I started doing glass, I studied psychology. I think it was in my second year of studying that I decided that I wanted to do something more creative. But I finished my psychology degree, got that out of the way, and then I moved into glass. It took me maybe 3 or 4 years to actually start learning how to sculpt the glass, but as soon as I did, it was sort of unconscious, like I tried to link what I'd learned in psychology into the work that I've been making. It's only recently that it's actually become the major part of my work, so I'm doing these figures and heads and sort of studies which are mostly about what's going on inside the glass. So glass is quite unique where you can actually put things inside of it and you can suspend patterns and ideas inside the actual form. So I'm trying to link it quite actively now, so I'm doing it consciously now. So I'm going to be doing one today. It's just like a really simplified outline of a human body, and then inside the outline I'm sort of building up these patterns, these sort of layerings and stuff. And then some of the glass that I'm using has got this colour shift in it, so when you look at it from different angles it shifts colour, so that's sort of like a play on the idea of people having layers and people being different when they're in different situations and things like that. It's not really a message. The series that I'm doing at the minute, there's quite a lot of different sculptures in this series, and it's based on psychophysics. So psychophysics is the idea of our perceptions of our bodies, so it's how we think about our bodies and how we think about what happens inside our bodies and what we think about and how that affects our bodies physically. No, the failure rate is quite high with glass, especially with sculpting glass, because when you're making a sculpture out of clay or wax or anything else, you can make it and then you can sit back and you can think about it and you can look at it and you can decide what's right and what's wrong, and then you can go back into the process and change it. But with glass, once you start, you have to finish in one sitting, and it's quite tiring and it's quite physically sort of draining and mentally draining. So you get to a point where you might not be looking at the piece properly because you're so tired, and so it doesn't go right, or it might go wrong because of the nature of the material and you can't fix it. So you have to finish and then start all over again. So the failure rate is quite high for glass. There's been a few pieces that I've really liked, and I feel like I've made them really well, and they've, you know, everything has worked well with it. Those pieces I do like to show, and I do like it when they sell, and I like knowing that someone else is going to love it. But then there are other pieces that I've made which are more experimental, that I know no one will ever want them, but I get to keep them then, and it's nice to keep the sort of weird and the ones that have gone a bit wrong, you know, because then you can learn something off it.
Bertin.